Hi there. Now, I often get asked by people, how long does it take to produce an audiobook? The answer surprises them, to say the least. Because it's 8 hours. 8 hours. Hang on, 8 hours for every hour of content. So for a book that takes a typical reader 10 hours to read, you're looking at 80 hours of work for a professional narrator. I've come across authors who think, okay, well, I'll do it myself. How hard can it be? I'll just read my book into a microphone. There's this lovely vision that not only authors but aspiring narrators have too. A cosy chair, a cup of tea, just reading. I've put in for auditions where the author has backed out when I've told them that I'm working on a current project for the next 3 weeks, and then their project will take 5 or maybe 6 weeks. Many people figure a 10-hour book is a weekend project. This is the great misunderstanding surrounding audiobook production. It's the siren song that lures in unsuspecting narrators, promising a simple, breezy process. And the reality isn't just a little more work than they think. It's also often a mountain of audio files and technical details that needs careful management. In this video, I'm going to give you the real, completely unfiltered breakdown of every single hour that separates a finished manuscript from a polished professional audiobook. So to reiterate, the industry standard says that for every finished hour of audio, you can expect to put in 8 to 10 hours of actual work. A recent project of mine consisting of 19 hours of content clocked in at just under 200 hours. So for a 10-hour book, you're looking at 80 to 100 hours. So where on earth does all that time go? Let's get into it. Okay, well, before I even dream of touching a microphone, the real work starts. This is the prep, and it's the most underestimated part of the whole deal for those outside the industry. For a 10-hour long book, you may need to budget for about 12 to 15 hours. That's at least a couple of full work days just getting ready to talk. I prefer to start reading a book of this length at least a week ahead of my intended start date, so demanding from me maybe 2 or 3 hours a day for the prep. So what does a narrator do to spend all that time on prep? Well, first you have to actually read the book, and not like you're on a beach, but like you're a detective hunting for clues. I compile a spreadsheet of characters, when they first appear, which chapters they reappear in, and I make notes about them, their age, gender, personality, nationality, accent, whatever such information the manuscript reveals. I also flag the tone of every chapter. Is it tense? Is it inspirational? Is it a bit cheeky? Your delivery has to match, and you can't just make that up as you go along. The character work can be demanding. Even a non-fiction book can have key people who need their own distinct voice. So I spend time practicing different tones and cadences for the main characters, identifying their profile, researching and practicing voices and accents. In my opinion, every character voice should be different and recognisable, like in real life. But that can sometimes be quite a time-consuming challenge. You need to understand that you are not just a reader, you're a one-person cast. You have to be ready to switch between these characters within a heartbeat. And finally, the part that trips up so many. Pronunciations. Some books may have some pretty specialised terms, or a lot of foreign names. Every single one should be researched. You can check pronunciations on YouTube, but don't always assume the first one you listen to is correct. Check a few different takes on them out, and if you're still not sure, ask your customer. that is the author or the rights holder. They wrote the book, so they should know. I know a narrator who pronounced the name of a key character wrong and then had to make almost 150 corrections, which will have added hours to the job. You can't afford to guess. If you botch a key term, your credibility with the author and the listener is instantly compromised. This isn't just reading, it's deconstructing a book and turning it into a performance blueprint. It's painstaking and it's totally non-negotiable. Then there's the recording marathon. With the script all marked up and my character voices spreadsheet at the ready, it's time to record. This is where 30 hours of my life will go for a 10-hour book. To get 10 hours of final audio, I spend 30 hours in my recording space. That's a 3-to-1 ratio of recording to finished audio, and that's a pretty efficient pace. The industry average is about 3 to 4 hours of recording for every finished hour. Why so long? Because you can't just read for 10 hours straight. Your voice is a muscle, and it will give out on you. Most pro narrators don't record for more than 3 or 4 hours a day. After that, your voice gets tired and you get sloppy, and the mistakes start piling up. My sessions are usually 4 hours long, spread across multiple days. And there will always be mistakes. You'll stumble over a word. A dog will bark outside, or in my case, there are noisy sheep in the vicinity. Your stomach will growl right in the middle of a deeply emotional line. Every single one of these things means you stop, go back, and do it again. And then, immediately at the end of recording a chapter, I listen back to it to make sure it matches the manuscript exactly, and I make corrections where necessary whilst I'm still in front of the mic. So if I find that I read a word that wasn't there or unknowingly delivered a mouth click that I didn't hear during a sentence, because you never hear them at the time you do them, then I will need to re-record that sentence and cut and paste it back in. And whilst playing your recording back, you're actually listening to your own pacing, tone, and your energy, all while trying to give a perfect performance. It can be very demanding of your concentration, and sometimes, if the piece was a dramatic one with a lot of dialogue from different characters, potentially emotionally and physically draining too. So third, the final 30 to 40 hours takes up the editing abyss. So now we arrive at the single most time-consuming part of this whole journey, post-production. Editing and mastering, referring to the rights holder and acting on any feedback that they want to give. Now, I should point out that I don't edit everything I have recorded at the end all in one go. I edit chapter by chapter and refer each in turn to the author or rights holder for review. That keeps them involved and ensures that one error does not continue right through the book, like the wrong pronunciation that I mentioned earlier. You need to make sure that your customer is on board to be involved throughout and is able to respond relatively quickly to each submitted chapter. But if they are too busy and are content to leave you largely to it, then that's okay. It's their book and that's their decision to make, but you should at least make them that offer. Now, I do my editing in my office, not in my recording space, because having done the reviewing session that I mentioned immediately after recording and while still in front of my mic, I shouldn't need to use the mic again, unless the rights holder asks for some changes after they have listened to it. So this editing process is what I call a micro edit. You zoom in on the waveform and live inside the milliseconds. Every single breath has to be judged. Is it a natural breath that adds to the performance, or is it a loud, distracting gasp? If it's distracting, you have to manually quiet it down or cut it out and replace it with room tone, the sound of silence in your studio. And then there are the mouth clicks, the tiny, maddeningly subtle smacking sounds your mouth makes. You never notice them in conversation, but with a good microphone they sound like tiny firecrackers going off. You have to listen out for them one by one and surgically remove them. For a 10-hour book, that can mean scores of these little edits. I have to admit that overall editing can be tedious, but it is absorbing too, and time passes surprisingly quickly. You're also fixing the pacing. Sometimes a pause is too long and kills the momentum, so you shorten it. Sometimes a line is rushed and you need to add a beat of silence to let it land. You're not a narrator anymore during this process. You're a composer, conducting the rhythm of the entire book. This is where the bulk of the work is. It's not glamorous, but it's the biggest thing that separates an amateur audiobook from a professional one. Once you're done editing, you do the mastering of the recording, which means applying some limited technical effects that will ensure the recording passes the audiobook audio submission requirements, which are largely the same across most audiobook platforms. At this point, I should point out that I have already produced a series of 6 videos which looks at all the production steps in detail, from prep through recording and editing and on to mastering and the final tasks. I provided a link to each of those videos in the notes to this video below. So, if this behind the scenes tour gives you a new appreciation for the audiobooks in your library and you have found it helpful, then please do me a favour and hit that like button. If you're a new or aspiring narrator, or maybe an author who is thinking about tackling a project this big, subscribe to my channel for more real talk on what it actually involves. So, to conclude, was it worth it? After 80 or so hours of concentrated and often demanding work on a typical 10-hour book, the big question people ask is, was it worth it? As a professional, I can say yes, absolutely. But it is a qualified yes. It's worth it because delivering a professional sounding audiobook that honours the author's work is an incredible feeling. It's a significant skill set, and I appreciate the art form, the performance side, more than I ever thought possible. However, the process should never be underestimated. The great myth of creative work is that it's all fun and inspiration. The reality is that it's mostly about the grind. It's about showing up for the boring, unglamorous tasks, the hours spent hunting for mouth clicks, researching pronunciations, and rereading the same line for maybe the 10th time. My advice to anyone who wants to do this is simple. Respect the grind. Know that the 8 to 10 to 1 ratio of work to finished audio is very, very real. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So don't think you'll knock it out in a weekend. Budget your time, be patient with the process, and remember that the tedious editing is where the magic really happens. It's a long journey, but if you're prepared for the reality of it, the view from the finish line is pretty incredible. And by the way, if you're an author and a prospective narrator tells you that they will be able to complete your 10-hour book entirely in about 40 hours, and so that will take a week and a bit perhaps, then you need to be prepared that the finished outcome is likely to be substandard. It's sad, but I'm afraid it's true. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and remember to press that like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much for watching, and in the meantime, yes, see me again soon. Bye for now.